Hey man, apparently they're saying 30,000 or potentially more than 30,000 people next year, South Africans, are going to be losing their jobs. And you ask yourself, what are they preparing people for if they're telling you Sasemaji? They're telling you that in 2025, Sazokala. If you thought 2024 Meskala, 2025 is Sazokala. And they're preparing you now, say 2024 November, they're telling you that more than, and this is just the start, they're just saying more than 30 million people, 30,000 people will lose their jobs. Obviously there is more. But I want you to listen to this. I want you to watch this and observe something so you can understand what's going on, because this is very concerning. It's very concerning. It's concerning. Watch this.
Looking at the stats from the second quarter, as well as that indication that was given by the minister during his medium-term budget policy statement, that the GDP is now revised downwards. GDP growth is revised downwards from 1.3% to 1.1%. How bleak of a situation are we looking at ahead of the announcement of these results?
Hello?
Hi, Dominic. If you can hear me. Hi, Dominic. Can you hear me? Okay. So I was asking you, how bleak of results do you think it is that we should be expecting later on today when the minister makes this announcement in terms of the data? Stats SA rather makes the announcement of the data, considering also on the other end that during the medium-term budget policy statement, the Minister of Finance has revised downwards the country's GDP growth from 1.3% to 1.1%.
Hi, Aldrin. Thanks to you and to the listeners. The first thing I want to say is that we can anticipate continued and persistent high levels of mass unemployment for the foreseeable future. The main reason is the structure of the South African economy, which I'll come to in a bit. The second point I want to make is that I think that it's important that in the media and in general, when we talk about the unemployment crisis in the country, we make reference to the expanded definition, which includes discouraged workers, as I think it gives a truer reflection of the state of unemployment in South Africa. And when doing so, there are around, according to Stats SA, more than 12 million people unemployed, which is equivalent to just under 43% of the workforce. So I think this is really the state of the unemployment crisis in the country. And until we are able to deal with the problems of the structure of the South African economy, I'm afraid that these problems will continue.
Yeah. What is it about the structure of the economy that you believe needs fixing?
So here, there are a number of key factors. One relates to the fact that since 1996, South Africa has embarked on a process of premature deindustrialization. What this means is that the manufacturing sector is the size of the economy, and in relation to employment within the economy, has shrunk dramatically, in part due to the elimination of tariffs from 23% to 8% between 1996 and 2004, which really decimated the most labor-intensive employment sectors in the country, which is manufacturing and particularly clothing and textile workers. So that's really the main thing. The second thing is the continued reliance on the aging mining complex, which is becoming increasingly less labor intensive over time. And so it doesn't create sufficient a number of jobs to be able to absorb new entrants into the job market. And then I would say these problems are made substantially worse by the fact that government has adopted a neoliberal austerity agenda, which means that there are major cuts to the public sector, which includes cuts to fixed investment. This is investment in the real economy, which can in fact create jobs, whilst there's been a continuation and a rise of investments in the financial economy.
Yeah, let's quickly go to Ziniko. I'm going to come back to you, Dominic. I just quickly need to go back to Ziniko, who is our reporter also covering the story for us this morning. Unfortunately, it is raining where he is currently standing. But Ziniko, I want you to speak quickly about the desperation of some of the people who are unemployed. day in, day out. Some mornings they are outside these intersections in Gauteng trying to work, trying to look for work. Speak to us about that level of desperation.
Good morning, Aldrin. Yes, indeed, there are people who actually braved the rain on daily basis, as we are seeing today, that there are people who decided not to just wait by the crossroads, as some of them are greeting us as well live on television. So we are focusing this morning on some of the measures people have taken in their quest of finding employment. We're in Midrand, where there are many estates, and of course that's where you find many young and elderly women, setting up across various estates, looking for jobs, waiting for any potential employer to pick them up so that they can go and work for them, whether it's a gardener or there is a cleaner. So one of them is Nobukosi Ndlovu, who has decided, after struggling to find employment, to set up this fruit and snack store just across one of the busiest intersections here in Midrand. Let's bring her in so that we get more details in terms of how she managed to set up this store, and of course her journey in terms of trying to find employment in this vicinity. I'm going to bring her in. She still have to sell some products to the customer here, so let's allow her that space to continue with that business. So basically, Aldrin, what we also find out is that when it comes to low-income jobs here in South Africa, I'm talking about domestic workers, I'm talking about cleaners. Over the past 5 years, that sector has been shrinking. A lot of jobs have been lost. And of course, in 2023, over 130,000 jobs were lost. As we continue now to talk to Sis Nobukhosi. Sis Nobukhosi, ngicela phambi nje kancane ngiyaxolisa ukuphazamisa. Ngicela usitshele sisi ukuthi uqale kanjani ukudayisa la, nokuthi mhlawumbe ustruggle kanjani ukuthola umsebenzi ekwenze ukuthi ugcine sewudayisa.
Ngoba umsebenzi bengawutholi, akunamsebenzi, sonke siyazi. So ngiqale lana ukudayisa 2021 ngesikhathi kuvulela efika icorona. Yikho lapho engiqala ukudayisa khona. Kulapho engifundisa khona ingane zami, lapho engondla khona ingane zami, lapho engibhadala khona irent. Do noma kungabalance mara lokuthi kube khona okuncane okungenayo.
Bekunzima kangakanani ungathola umsebenzi la, ufune umsebenzi isikhathi singakanani, endine kwenza ukuthi manje uzugcina usuthi ngidayise ngoba kulunge emsebenzini?
Aboma 4 years ufuna nomsebenzi ngawutholi. So ngagcina sengibona ukuthi ungcono ngidayise ukwenzela ukuthi ngikwazi ukuphila.
Njengoba uhlala lana, abaningi abantu abafuna umsebenzi la, nokucleaner nokusebenza endlini phakathi kwabantu lana, ungathini kuba abantu ababhekile ama struggles obabona befacana nawo kanjani?
Baningi mfethu abafika noma nalapha bafika basibuzise nami ukuthi okay sisakwazi lapha abafuna khona abantu abokucleaner o lapha abafuna khona ukuchasha, bese ngiyasho nami ukuthi bafethu nami nginje ngiyawufuna umsebenzi mara awu. So nokudayisa nakho nakhona sekunzima ngoba wonke umuntu useyadayisa, sonke siyadayisa, sonke sidinga ukuphila.
Ngiyabonga Sis Nobukhosi isikhathi sakho. Sharp. That's Nobukhosi Aldrin Ndlovu there, who's saying that she struggled, to get a job, and of course she searched for a job for over 4 years and she could not find any, but also saying that that's why she decided to venture into this small business, but also saying that many people who come to her just asking, in terms of whether she knows any job opportunities in around this area or not. And of course she does say that